Welcome to FlashCore, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. August 8th, 2025. A date that will go down in food history, remembered not for a celebration, but for a crisis that caught everyone off guard. On this day, Canada abruptly halts all potato shipments to the United States, sending shockwaves through the entire North American food industry and leaving businesses scrambling for answers. Former President Trump wastes no time calling the move trade aggression. His fiery rhetoric escalates tensions, turning a supply issue into a full-blown political spectacle that dominates headlines. But this standoff isn't just about potatoes. It's a symptom of deeper, long-simmering trade disputes that threaten everything from farm profits to the price of your favorite fast food fries. The United States relies heavily on Canadian potatoes for fries, chips, hash browns, and countless other staples found in restaurants and grocery stores across the country. With the supply chain suddenly severed, American producers are left scrambling to fill the gap, facing mounting pressure to ramp up production and meet soaring demand. The once integrated North American potato market is thrown into chaos. Warehouses overflow in Canada, while American corporations and retailers feel the sting of empty shelves and lost profits. Trump's calls for steep tariffs on Canadian goods only deepen the crisis, fueling uncertainty and making a quick resolution seem more distant with every passing day. For everyday Americans, the bottom line is painfully simple. The potatoes have stopped coming. Families, restaurants, and snack lovers alike are left wondering how long this shortage will last. The Great Potato Standoff of 2025 has officially begun, casting a shadow of uncertainty over dinner tables and boardrooms alike. No one knows how or when it will end. While potato farmers panic, facing uncertainty and mounting losses as their crops go unsold, American onion growers see a rare opportunity in the ongoing trade war. For them, the shifting landscape could finally bring relief after years of struggle. For years, they've battled a flood of cheap Mexican onions undercutting their prices, a practice they call dumping, which has made it nearly impossible to compete fairly in the marketplace. Now, with new tariffs and trade barriers in place, the playing field could finally be leveled, giving American farmers a fighting chance to reclaim their share of the market. The National Onion Association has thrown its full support behind these tariffs, arguing that they not only protect domestic growers, but also strengthen national food security by keeping local farms in business. For onion farmers, a trade war isn't a threat. It's a long-awaited chance to fix years of market imbalance and finally see their hard work pay off. This situation highlights a deep divide in American agriculture. While some farmers thrive on open trade and global markets, others feel left behind, struggling to survive against foreign competition. Onion growers want the same protection other industries get, hoping that tariffs will finally secure their future and allow them to invest in their farms and communities. In this complex web of global commerce, onion farmers finally have a platform to demand real change, even if it means cheering for policies that others in agriculture might fear or oppose. For them, it's about survival and a fair shot at success. Unlike onion growers, America's potato farmers face disaster. The US and Canada have built a tightly integrated potato supply chain, now shattered overnight. American processing plants rely on Canadian potatoes. Without them, production slows. Jobs are at risk. Retaliatory tariffs threaten US potato exports to Canada, making them less competitive. Industry groups warn a prolonged trade war could irreparably harm the sector. Unlike onions, potatoes depend on cross-border cooperation, not competition. The intricate logistics, potatoes grown in Canada, processed in Maine, sold nationwide, are now at a standstill. Farmers can't plan for the future amid this uncertainty. For them, talk of tariffs isn't politics. It's a direct threat to their livelihoods. The potato standoff hits where it hurts most. The fast food menu, a place millions of people turn to for comfort, convenience, and a quick bite. Suddenly, the familiar choices are under threat, and uncertainty hangs in the air. French fries, long considered a staple and a major profit driver for restaurants, are now at the very center of a growing trade storm. Their future on the menu is no longer guaranteed. Rising potato prices are only part of the problem. Canola oil, which is mostly imported from Canada and essential for frying, is also at risk of becoming scarce or unaffordable. New tariffs could make this essential frying oil even more expensive, squeezing restaurants that are already struggling with high costs for ingredients, labor, and utilities. Every extra dollar spent on oil chips away at already thin profit margins. Faced with these pressures, restaurants must make tough choices, raise prices, shrink portions, or risk losing loyal customers who may not be able to afford their favorite meals anymore. The so-called French fry crisis is a vivid example of how global politics and international trade disputes can impact daily life, right down to the price and size of a simple side of fries. As costs continue to rise, families may be forced to cut back on eating out or even on grocery store treats, creating a ripple effect that spreads through the entire economy, affecting workers and businesses alike. The humble French fry has now become a powerful symbol of just how interconnected and vulnerable our modern food system really is, reminding us that even the smallest changes can have far-reaching consequences. Restaurant owners are on the front lines, battling soaring costs for potatoes and oil. For small diners, these increases threaten survival, not just profits. Owners face tough choices: raise menu prices and risk losing customers, or absorb costs and risk going under. Some invest in oil filtration or switch to cheaper blends, but taste and quality can suffer. Others shrink portions or promote alternative sides to cut costs. The uncertainty makes it nearly impossible to plan or budget. The French fry war exposes how vulnerable restaurants are to global supply shocks. Now, chefs and owners must become crisis managers, adapting to a volatile world far beyond their control. The French fry crisis isn't just about potatoes, it's about canola oil. The U.S. imports over half its canola oil from Canada, making it highly dependent on its northern neighbor. This gives Canada powerful leverage in any trade dispute. If Canada restricts or taxes canola oil exports, U.S. food costs would spike overnight. American businesses built on stable, affordable oil now face sudden disruption. Switching oils isn't easy. It means new recipes, suppliers, and possible changes in taste. The canola connection reveals the risks of concentrated supply chains. Canada's fields of yellow canola give it surprising influence over America's favorite foods. Tariffs and trade wars create economic whiplash for everyone, from CEOs to shoppers. One day it's about protecting jobs, the next it's about rising grocery bills. This uncertainty makes businesses hesitate and consumers anxious. The French fry crisis is just one example. Many goods are affected. When prices jump at the checkout, trade policy suddenly feels personal. The crisis exposes the invisible web of global supply chains we all depend on. As costs rise, families cut back, hurting businesses and creating a negative feedback loop. The result: a drag on the economy driven by unpredictability. In this drama, confused consumers and cautious business owners are the main characters, navigating a world that changes with every headline. The onion and potato farmers' reactions reveal the complexity of modern trade. Onion growers want tariffs to protect against cheap imports. Potato farmers need open borders for their integrated supply chain. One industry sees tariffs as a shield, the other as a wrecking ball. Policymakers face a tough challenge. A policy that helps one group can hurt another. The USMCA was meant to provide stability, but these disputes show details matter. Crafting fair trade policy requires listening to every sector's unique needs. The future of North American trade depends on understanding these complexities. Only then can we support American businesses without destroying the partnerships that help them thrive. As the potato standoff drags on, the future of food and trade in North America is uncertain. A quick deal could restore potato flows and calm prices, but a prolonged fight may force companies to rethink supply chains. The tension between protectionist and integrationist industries must be addressed in future trade deals. Consumers should expect continued price swings and may need to adjust their habits. The era of cheap, abundant food may be ending, replaced by new awareness of global supply chains. This trade tiff is a reminder. In our interconnected world, nothing happens in isolation. Political decisions in one country can change dinner in another. The hope is for resolution, before the only thing left on the menu is economic anxiety.